Hello students, I Rakesh Chauhan, PGT Physics in Suraj Group of Schools, welcome you all in the e-learning classes of physics, and our today's topic for discussion is to find the magnetic field at the axis of a circular current loop. You can recall from our last video that we have started with Biot-Savart's law and the applications of Biot-Savart's law. And in that video, we have studied or discussed about the very first application of Biot-Savart's law, that was to derive the formula of magnetic field at the center of a circular loop. And as you can recall from that lecture, that suppose this is a circular loop which carries a current I in clockwise direction, and the radius of this loop is suppose capital R, then at the center of this loop we have derived the formula of magnetic field as B0 is equal to mu 0 I upon 2R. So that was the very first application of Biot-Savart's law. In this video we are going to discuss about the second very important application, in fact, because this topic is frequently asked in CBSE. Therefore it is the topic which is having very much weightage in CBSE. So this is the second application, and in our next video we will be discussing about the third application of Biot-Savart's law, which is the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. So these all three topics are very important, or in fact the Biot-Savart's law is very important, so you need to focus on this topic. So now first we will try to understand that what is the axis of a circular loop. So suppose I have this circular loop, then the line passes through its center and perpendicular to the plane of this loop is said to be the axis of the loop. So this is the axis of the loop. So suppose anywhere on this axis there is a point, and we want to derive the formula of magnetic field at any of the point on this axis. So this is the topic which we are going to study about. So first I draw the diagram, because the diagram itself is complicated. So if I draw this diagram as a whole, you will not be able to understand this. So I am drawing in front of you that suppose this is the current loop. Now you will say, sir, current loop we have just considered as this, and now you have changed this diagram to this. So there is no difference between these two. The only difference is the point of view from where we are actually watching these two diagrams. If suppose I have this circular loop with me, and if I put this circular loop as this and watching this loop from the top, then it will see like this. But if I put this loop as this, and now I am watching this loop from here, so this loop will appear me to as this. So we have put this loop in this direction, and we will take the axis on this direction, and we want to find the formula of magnetic field at the axis of this circular loop. So this is basically the point of view from where you are watching this loop. So if it is a top view, the loop will like this, and if you are watching in a side view, then it will appear like this. So this is a circular loop which is placed in this plane, and suppose this loop carries I current, and the radius of this loop is suppose A, or you can say R. In our previous derivation we have assumed the radius as R, so here also we are assuming it as R. In some books it is denoted by A also. So this is the radius of this circular loop which carries a current I in clockwise direction, and this is the axis of this circular loop, This is the axis of the circular loop, and suppose on the axis of this circular loop at point P, the distance from the center of this point P is x, and we want to derive the formula of magnetic field at point P due to this circular loop. Okay, so first, if you want to apply Biot-Savart's law, then our very first step is to have the current element. And what is current element? The product of current and differential length. So suppose this is the current element ideal vector, whose distance from this point P we can draw as, this is the distance of point P from the current element, and the angle between current element and this distance vector, suppose this is r, will be 90 degree. So you can see from the symmetry or diagram. If you are having any doubt, I try to make you understand with the help of this diagram, that this is a circular loop and this is the axis of this circular loop. This is the axis of the circular loop, suppose, and this is the current element here at some point, and this is this distance r. You can interpret this diagram with the help of this. So this is like, so now you can see that the current element in this direction, the direction of differential length, definitely along with circumference, and the direction of circumference, or we can say this length, will be in this direction, and this distance vector from ideal vector and P point is like this. So definitely the angle between this line or displacement vector and this will be 90 degree. So we will be using this while we will be applying this Biot-Savart's law. So you must understand first that why the angle between current element and this r vector is 90 degree. Okay, suppose this angle is alpha. This angle is alpha, although it will be very small because we are having, or we have assumed that the circular loop is having very small radius as compared to this distance x from its center. Okay, so r can be written as root of x square plus r square, x square plus r square, using Pythagoras theorem, because this is a right angle triangle. Okay, so now we will try to derive the formula of magnetic field at point P, but before that we will have the direction of magnetic field itself. So the direction of magnetic field is always perpendicular to the plane containing ideal vector and r vector. So the ideal vector and r vector, we have assumed that they are in this plane, we can say, then definitely the direction of magnetic field will be perpendicular to both of these. So we are having r vector, so direction of magnetic field will be perpendicular, suppose in this direction. This will be the direction of magnetic field perpendicular to the r vector and ideal vector, in fact. So this is, I have denoted as dB vector, because this is the small magnetic field due to only this part of the circular loop, but we have to derive the formula due to a whole loop at point P, the total magnetic field. So this is suppose dB, and now I will convert, or split this dB in two perpendicular components, which are dB cos alpha and dB sin alpha. So suppose these are the two perpendicular components of dB. So if this angle is alpha, then by the symmetry you can see this angle will be also alpha, because this angle is 90 degree, and if this angle is 90 degree, and we have drawn this as perpendicular to this line. So this is 90 minus alpha, this angle will be 90 minus alpha, and if this is 90 minus alpha and this is 90, then the remaining angle is alpha. So from the symmetry you can say that this angle will be alpha. If this is alpha, then definitely this will also be alpha. So this dB can be split into two components, horizontal and vertical component. So the horizontal component will be in this direction, we can see, where alpha is this. So this will be dB cos alpha, and the vertical component of this dB is dB sin alpha in this direction. Okay, so now the net, or we can say this dB cos alpha is having no role in the net magnetic field. You will say why? Because if I assume the exactly same current element ideal vector diametrically in opposite side, suppose this as ideal vector, then definitely the magnetic field due to this current element at point P will be in this direction, we can say this direction. So this will also be dB, because dB vector we can say, because we have taken ideal vector same as here, and this distance r is exactly equal to r. This distance is also r, because this is radius of this loop and this is x, which is the distance of this center to this point P. So now if I once again split this dB into two components, so this will be dB cos alpha and this will be again dB sin alpha. So dB sin alpha plus dB sin alpha. So since dB sin alpha both are in the same direction, therefore they will be added up. But you can see from the diagram that the horizontal component of this dB and this dB are in opposite direction. This is in upward direction, this is in downward direction, and the magnitude is same, direction is opposite, therefore they will cancel out each other. So this is the diagram as a whole. So if you see this diagram, all of a sudden, so you will be surprised by seeing this diagram. But if using this approach, I have make you understand that this diagram is not so complicated. Okay, now let us try to derive the formula of magnetic field at point P. So the net magnetic field I am writing here directly. So the net magnetic field at point P due to these two current elements which are diametrically in opposite direction and same in all the way. So net magnetic field at point P can be written as dB net is equals to 2 dB sin alpha. And as you can see from the diagram, there is no role in deciding the net magnetic field of these two horizontal components, that is dB cos alpha and dB cos alpha, because they will cancel out each other. So this is suppose equation first. Okay, now what is dB in fact? So dB is the magnitude of magnetic field due to this current element, or maybe due to this current element. So using Biot-Savart's law, we can write down the magnitude of dB. So using Biot-Savart's law, what can be written? dB is equals to mu 0 upon 4 pi I dl sin theta upon r square, that is distance square. So the distance is r, we have already assumed it. And now the angle theta, this angle theta is between this current element and this displacement vector. So we have already discussed during the course of this diagram that the angle between ideal vector and r vector is 90 degree. So here theta can be written as 90 degree and sine 90 becomes 1. So I am simply writing down it as dB is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi I dl upon r square, since sine 90 or theta is 90 degree, theta is 90 degree, therefore we can write down as this. So this is suppose equation second. Okay, now we will put the value of dB from equation second into equation first, but before that first we will solve, or we will also put having the value of sine alpha. So can you calculate the value of sine alpha from this diagram? This is the right angle triangle, and from here you can say sine alpha is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So perpendicular is r and hypotenuse is small r. So you can say that it is capital R divided by small r. So these two values we will put from equation second and equation third into equation first. So from equation first, what can be written? dB net magnetic field is equals to 2 times dB. dB is mu 0 upon 4 pi I dl upon r square, and sine alpha, that is r upon small r. Now it will become mu 0 I dl r upon 2, will cancel out this 4, so it will become 2 pi and r cube. So this is the expression for dB net. So this is the magnetic field due to this current element here at point P. So this is suppose equation third. So is this the final result? You will say no, because we have to find out the value of total magnetic field at point P due to this whole loop. So what we have to do, we can integrate this to find or to have the total magnetic field due to this complete circular loop. So integrating both sides, we can have dB net. The integration of dB net will become B net, and we can put the symbol of integration here, mu 0 I dl r upon 2 pi r cube, and here the variable is L, dl. So from here we can say that the variable is L. So what will be the range of L? So you will say the range of L will be from 0. Suppose we have started from here, so the L is equal to 0 here, and once we complete the circular loop, one revolution, it will become 2 pi r. But since we have considered two current elements simultaneously, so when we are moving from here to here, this current element will be moving from here to here. So just completing half of the circular loop, we will complete this circular revolution or one revolution, because we have considered two current elements simultaneously. So the limit will be from L is equals to 0 to pi r only, not up to 2 pi r. If you put this limit from 0 to 2 pi r, then you have to remove this 2 from here, because we have taken dB net as 2 dB sin alpha, because dB sin alpha due to this current element and dB sin alpha due to this current element. So since we have already considered two current elements on the same loop, therefore on completing half of the loop, we will complete the full revolution by simply considering two current element simultaneously. So choice is yours. You can, if you put here dB net is equal to dB sin alpha, then the limit will be 0 to 2 pi r. But if you put dB net is equal to 2 dB sin alpha, then the limit will be 0 to half of the circumference, that is pi r. Okay, now let us try to solve it. Mu 0 I r upon 2 pi r cube, these are the constant. So we can take out of the integration symbol here. So b net becomes mu 0 I r upon 2 pi r cube integration dl from 0 to pi r. Okay, so integration dl becomes L mu 0 I r upon 2 pi r cube, and limit will be from 0 to pi r. Integration of dl becomes L, and this is the value of net magnetic field. Okay, now v mu 0 I r upon 2 pi r cube, and it is pi r minus 0, and now it becomes, we can cancel pi to this pi, and this r will become r square. So mu 0 I r square upon 2 r cube. So this is the expression for net magnetic field at point P. Now we will put the value of r also here. So r is root of x square plus r square. So while we will put this value, it will become mu 0 I r square upon 2, and the value of r is x square plus r square raised to the power half, and r cube, since it is r cube, so it will become power 3 by 2. So this will be the net magnetic field at point P on the axis of this circular current loop, equals to b net mu 0 I r square upon 2 x square plus r square raised to the power 3 by 2. So this is very important formula, and I will suggest you that you must remember this formula for numerical point of view. So what are the various terms involved in this formula? We have assumed r as the radius of the circular loop, x is the distance of this point at the axis from the center of the loop, and I is the current flowing in the circular loop. So this is the final result, we can say, or this is the derivation of magnetic field at the axis of a current loop. So now we will try to solve some numericals on this formula based, but before that we will consider two important cases also. So you can note down this derivation, and before going into the numerical practice, we will have some special cases based on this formula. So suppose this is the final expression. So case first we are considering as that if this point P is at the center of this loop, so this will become the very first case which we have derived with the help of Biot-Savart's law. So if x becomes 0, the very first case is if point P is at the center of the loop, so x becomes 0, and if x becomes 0, then from this equation net magnetic field becomes mu 0 I r square upon 2 0 plus r square raised to the power 3 by 2, and it will become mu 0 I r square upon 2 r cube, and this r cube will cancel out this r square, so it will become mu 0 I upon 2r. So this is the formula of net magnetic field at the center of the circular loop, which we have also derived using Biot-Savart's law in the very first case. So this we can say as a general case, and if we put the value of x is equals to 0, it will becomes the very first case. And one more case we can consider here, case second, and this case second is if x is very greater than capital R, means the radius of the circular loop is very small and the position of this point on the axis is far away from its center. So what we will do, x square plus R square is approximately equal to x square in this case if x is very greater than R. So now B net becomes, B net is equals to mu 0 I R square upon 2, and x square, in place of x square plus R square we have to put only x square, so x square raised to the power 3 by 2, and it will become mu 0 I R square upon this will become 2x cube. Now we can modify this formula also further. What we can do, if I multiply numerator and denominator by 2 pi, so there will be very interesting result coming out to be mu 0 I R square, or in fact we have to multiply by 2 pi, so 2 pi R square upon 2 pi into 2, it will become 4 pi x cube. Now we can separate these two terms, mu 0 upon 4 pi, and this is suppose 2 I pi r square upon x cube, and this pi r square is the area of the circular loop whose radius is r. So we can write down here mu 0 upon 4 pi 2 I a, area of the loop, in place of pi r square x cube, and this becomes mu 0 upon 4 pi 2 m upon x cube. Now you will say that what is m? So m is I into a, which is known as magnetic dipole moment. The dipole moment of a magnet is known as magnetic dipole moment, similar to the electric dipole. In case of electric dipole we have defined electric dipole moment, so here also we can define magnetic dipole moment, and the formula is current multiplied by the area of that loop whose dipole moment is denoted by m. So we will use it further also in the next chapter, that is magnetism. So you must remember that magnetic dipole moment of a loop excuse me is defined as the product of current and the area of that loop. So this is the magnetic dipole moment. So this formula you will relate it in the next chapter to the magnetic field of a bar magnet. So the magnetic field of a bar magnet is equivalent to the magnetic field at the axis of a point which is far away from the center of the circular loop. So somehow these circular loops are related to bar magnet, or we can say the bar magnet is an equivalent to the number of circular loops, or to a solenoid. We can say if number of circular loops are wound on a hollow cylindrical structure, it will become solenoid. So in the next chapter we will derive that bar magnet is equivalent to a solenoid. So in that also we will consider this concept or this formula. So this is all about the second application of Biot-Savart's law, and in our next video we will study about the third application of Biot-Savart's law, which is magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you like this video, please have your comments, give your comments and share my video. Thank you very much for watching this video.